My name is David, and I'm a college student who wants to learn about surfing because I'm going on vacation to Hawaii. So let's get started. Boards. Alright, I guess this is where we're starting. Surfboards come in all shapes and sizes. There are many different categories of surfboards, and if you want to, you can break them up into as many different categories as genres of heavy metal. However, there are four main types of surfboards: shortboard, fish, gun, and longboard. Alright, let's see. Looks like a pretty cool surfer here. Most shortboards are not ideal for beginners. Alright, so it's not for me, as they trade off stability and paddle speed for maneuverability. A fish is generally under 6 feet long with a lot of volume packed into it. It is characterized by a wide nose, wide tail with a deep swallow cut into it, I guess that's what this is, and a flat rocker. Best used by those transitioning to a shortboard. Alright, so it's also not for me. Not for the weak of heart or unskilled, a gun is a specialized surfboard designed for serious, death-defying waves. Definitely not for me. A longboard is 8 feet and longer and is designed for ultimate stability. You can even walk it. Ideal for beginners. Alright, so we're going to be looking for a longboard when we go out. And I think that's it. Paddling. Proper paddling technique will save you from back pain and minimize resistance in the water. Hover over each diagram to learn more. The surfer above is positioned too far back on his surfboard. His nose is more than a foot out of the water, and in this position, surfer B is probably swimming at less than half of his potential. His surfboard creates a lot of resistance with water underneath him. Yeah, that doesn't look very good. The surfer is too far up on his surfboard. Consequently, his nose dives in the water, either creating more resistance or eventually making him fall off his surfboard. Yeah, it also doesn't look very efficient. Finally, we have the surfer keeps his back arched and his surfboard nose slightly out of the water. You should pretend there's a soccer ball under your chin. This will make sure your head stays up and still, and keeps the arch in your back. That looks perfect. Alright, so this is what I'm going to be aiming for. Breaks. The surf break is the zone or lineup where waves start to break. Take a look at the three main types of surf breaks and their characteristics. A reef break is a surf spot where waves break over cobblestones, rocks, or coral seabeds. It is considered the most demanding break of all because they're extremely shallow and can be razor sharp. Not for beginners. Alright, so this is definitely not for me. I'm not going to be looking for a reef break. You may be familiar with this timeless classic, Point Break. Although an excellent flick, Patrick never actually explains what a point break is. Oh yeah, I absolutely love Point Break. It's a great movie. But what is a point break? A point break is a surf spot where waves bend along a rocky headland or point or into curved shorelines like a natural bay and peel either to the right or left. It allows for long and racy rides, but are generally not suitable for first-timers. Alright, so I can't surf at a point or a reef break. Where can I surf? So I guess this pug also is curious where you can surf. At a beach break, the waves break over sand, very forgiving for beginners. A famous example is Waikiki Beach in Hawaii. Oh, that just happens to be where I'm going on vacation. Alright, so we can surf at beach breaks, but not reef or point breaks. Got it. Safety and etiquette. When surfers don't follow the basic commandments of surfing, accidents, injuries, and misunderstandings can happen. This surfer has priority because they are the closest to the breaking part of the wave. I guess that's this part. This surfer is dropping in. Yeah, that doesn't look right. It looks like this person's cutting the person on the left off. Right of way. The surfer closest to the peak always gets priority. In other words, if you're paddling for a right-hand wave and a fellow surfer is on your left shoulder, you must give priority to him or her. Don't snake. Snaking is a very common and disrespectful behavior that can be seen especially in crowded lineups. Paddling around one or more surfers to get closer to the peak and gain priority is rude conduct. It looks like this person that would be snaking if they followed this path or arrow. Okay, very cool. If you'd like to see more visual examples of snaking dropping in, please watch the brief video below. So I guess this is an optional video if I didn't understand.
And therefore has priority. And Luke shows bad etiquette by dropping in on her. Here are some other examples of...
Okay, that makes it pretty clear. Basically, just like, don't go when someone else is going. Protect your head. Oops. Put one arm over the top of your head and wrap your other arm around the back of your head and neck. Simple, but the most effective way of protecting yourself from your own or other people's surfboards when you're in the water. It looks like this is a pretty bad example of doing that. So this is basically what not to do. Congrats on making it here. You're ready to test your knowledge. Awesome. Let's get started with the quiz. Let's start her up. All right, we got question 1. Is this surfer being safe? So it looks like we just saw an example of a surfer not being safe, and it looks exactly like this. So I'm going to go with no. Which surf break has razor sharp areas? I kind of think it can be reef or point. I think I better go back and check, start over. I'm not really sure. If I proceed, all progress will be lost. Yeah, I'll start over. I only did one question. Let's go back to start learning. Go back to breaks. We'll reread. Reef break is a surf spot where waves break over cobblestones, rocks, or coral seabeds. It is considered the most demanding break of all because they're extremely shallow and can be razor sharp. All right, so that's the key word we're looking for, razor sharp. Let's just make sure point also doesn't. Remember a surf spot where waves bend along a rocky headland. Okay, I'm not seeing anything about razor sharp, so let's just go back to the quiz and answer the question. Looks like my score got reset. So we already know this one is no, the surfer is not being safe. We're going to answer reef here. Let's see, is this surfer paddling correctly? Looks like the board is sticking up out of the water, and he's pretty far back on it. His legs are, in the water also. I'm going to say no, he's not paddling correctly. Is the surfer on the right being safe? It doesn't look like... It looks like the person on the left is correct and has the right of way, so I'm guessing the person on the right does not. Question 5. Which board are you taking out on your first time? Different types of sizes and surfboards. We have bodyboard, fishboard, shortboard, hybrid, gun, fun board, longboard, and supboard. All right, so I remember we needed to pick something long. I remember it being longboard, but a supboard is longer than a longboard, so I'm not really sure. But it doesn't even look like a supboard is an option here to pick, so I'm going to go with the longest option, which is longboard. Awesome. Congratulations, you scored 100%. You're ready to jump in the water. Looks like I got everything correct. We'll go back home. And that's it. That's Learn to Surf, a site to teach you about learning to surf before your first lesson. Thank you very much.